some kind of economic condition, something all over the world. There's something going on, and I get a notification about it.
All right.
I'm still a little old school. I like to handle and read. So I go to my local 7-Eleven, and they know me. If I don't buy them, they say no newspapers today. Mm-hmm. But I buy newspapers. I buy the San Francisco Chronicle, and I buy the San Jose Mercury News, and I buy the USA Today.
All right.
I get my regional news from the Chronicle and the Mercury.
Yes.
And I also check the obituary section to make sure I'm not in there. And then I get my national news from the USA Today.
Yes.
But I'm here to tell you, even in all that, it's from front cover to back cover is bad news.
Come on.
Even when I go to the entertainment section where I want to hear something light, there's some bad news in the entertainment section.
Wow.
I can go to the sports section, which I love to read, and it's bad news. Somebody gets suspended, somebody's holding out. The issue with Kaepernick and kneeling and social justice. All these things are going on.
Yes.
I cannot find any happy news
All
anywhere.
right. Amen.
I don't know about you. I don't know if you recognize that, but I've seen that there is sad and bad news every time I turn around.
Yes.
And don't get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. You hate to answer the phone.
Yes.
Why? Because it's generally going to be bad news. Nobody got good news at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And so we are inundated with bad news.
Mm-hmm.
This was the condition also of the Philippian church.
All right.
Paul wrote this letter to the Philippians while he himself was in a bad situation.
All right.
Paul was in jail in the Roman jail. He was a prisoner for the gospel. It was illegal to preach the gospel. It was illegal to worship Jesus Christ because Caesar said he was God. Mm-hmm. We got somebody now who think they're God. And if he could outlaw you worshiping God, he would. Now, I'm not going to be like they did at Aretha Franklin's funeral.
All right.
Number one, I'm not going to hold you 9 hours.
Ooh, that's crazy.
And number two, I'm not going to disrespect the office of the president. I don't have to agree with the guy, but God said that we need to honor those that he placed in leadership. And he said that we need to recognize the government. He said he put them over us. And a lot of time he put them over us to draw us back to him. Right. Don't you know that Israel had negative kings and bad kings? They had people that drove the people away from God. And he said that he placed them there in order to draw people back to him. America is now becoming the greatest mission field in the world. We always want to say, let's go out and missionize other countries. But this country is becoming the greatest mission field right now. There's so many issues here in this country. In this Philippian church, the church that Paul established, and he established this church because he thought he was going to go into Asia. He wanted to go and bring the gospel into Asia. But God said no. Then he wanted to go into Bithynia, but God said no. Then he has a vision, and a man appeared to him and says, from Macedonia, says, come over here. So they knew that God was sending them to the Macedonian nation. And they went to the city of Philippi. I want you to note one thing. That this church was started by women. We got a majority of women here, so I'm trying to get on your good side.
It's all right. Come on.
This church was started by women.
All right.
Paul went there. Now, a man appeared to Paul and says, come over here. But Paul's first contact in Philippi was with women.
All right.
First, he said he was there for many days, and on the Sabbath day, as was his custom, he was going to worship, and he went down by the river. And there were the women worshiping down by the river. Paul first preached to the women.
All right.
Then there was another woman, because you had to have somebody that could sponsor the church financially in their house. And there was a Lydia who sold purple. She was a successful businesswoman. And so she heard the gospel, and she said, you guys need to come stay with us. And she was the sponsor, the first sponsor of the church in Philippi.
All right.
So that church had a very different beginning than a lot of other ones. There was no Jewish synagogue there for Paul to go to. So he went, and the women were the first foundation of that church. And then there's another woman. She was possessed. And while she was telling the truth, this is something that the devil can tell the truth and mean it for the wrong. She was telling the truth that these were men of the Most High God, but her people were using her to tell fortunes, and they made money off her. And Paul was vexed in the spirit after so many days, and he rebuked that spirit out of her, and the people got mad. So here he goes. The people that made money off her was upset. So now they take him before the law. Isn't it something that you get taken before the law for doing good? Isn't that sad that because you did right and you helped somebody, that they took them before the for none day they would want money and financials and being better, that they will put you in jail for doing good. That's what happened in the city of Philippi.
Amen.
So they not only did they put him in jail, they whooped him and beat him. But at midnight, they sang praises. We have a hard time singing praises on a Sunday morning. Imagine they whooped on us. Can we still sing? If they came in here right now and says you're going to jail, would you still sing? They were singing praises to God at midnight.
Come on.
And God caused the earth to shake. Okay, and the stocks fell off and they were free to go, but they stayed right there because God said, I need you to stay right there. Not only did they stay there, all the prisoners who were not even saved stayed there because Paul assured they would stay there. They were listening to the praises and the singing that was going on. That these two men, Paul and Silas, they heard that testimony and it enraptured them because they knew what they had went through. And because of that, the jailer was saved.
All right.
And not only was he saved, his whole family was saved. And that is the beginning of the Philippian church. They started small, few women, serving girl, sponsor, somebody getting whooped on, and then the church happened.
All right.
Became a very strong church, a very giving church. They supported Paul in his ministry. So Paul writes this letter to this church. In the first chapter, he greets them. He knows that they're also under persecution. They knew that there was hard times coming. Faith, you think you're having hard times? All of us are going to experience hard times in the days ahead. You're not by yourself in experiencing hard times. So he told them, he was trying to get to them, to get them, encourage them. Now here's a man that's in jail trying to encourage people who are not in jail. But he wanted to tell them that God, and how proud he was of them, and how they had stood firm, how they stayed in their neighborhood, where they were situated. They were right there, and God was pleased with them.
All right.
My God.
The second chapter of this book, where our text is drawn from, has one of the most beautiful descriptions of who Jesus Christ is and what he's gone through. If we had time, we should read it, but if I read it, I'm going to have to preach it. But he talks about having the same mind as Christ in the second chapter. And then he showed what the mind of Christ was. Even though he was God, he made himself of no reputation.
All right.
But he humbled himself to take on human flesh.
Yes, he did.
And he endured the cross. And he went there. So he humbled himself. He was obedient to what God had said. And he sacrificed his life.
Yes, he did.
He talks about that's the mind that we ought to have. Do we have that mind, Faith? Can I ask you, do you have the mind of Christ this morning? Are you ready to be humble? Are you ready to be obedient?
Come on, preacher.
Are you ready to sacrifice?
All right.
Because that's what it took for Christ to have your salvation. That's what it took to secure your relationship and your ability to have a relationship with God. He had to humble himself. He had to be obedient. And he had to give his life. We're called to sacrifice our life. Romans 12:1 says, present yourselves as a living sacrifice. I'm going to preach on that one day. Because a living sacrifice is oxymoron. Usually sacrifices were dead. But he says, present your body as a living sacrifice. But I digress. We're talking about having the mind of Christ.
All right.
So he said, have the same mind of Christ. Have the same humbleness, the same obedience, and sacrifice. Those are the key descriptions of the mind of Christ. Because of his humbleness and his obedience and his sacrifice, he has a name that is above all names.
Right.
You want to know why he has that name? Because of what he did.
All right.
And we have a name above all names.
All right.
Because we're attached to him. His name elevates us. He has been exalted above all the earth. He's exalted above every name in heaven, on earth, and under the earth.
Right.
No matter where something exists, his name is the name. And his name is the only name that you can come through God to. People want to come through all kinds of other ways.
Right.
But nobody did what he did. We've had martyrs, but they didn't die for you. We've had people that had great leadership and they said some wonderful things. You can quote the Quran, you can quote Confucius, you can quote Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. They all have some nice words. But they didn't have the life that gave power to the words. God's word has power. It has authority. It uplifts, it builds up, and it saves. Paul describes this Philippian church as lights in the world.
All right.
He speaks to three things. I'm not going to be here before you long because I sat to that long funeral and I said, I'm never going to be long again. Well, I don't know. It depends on what he tells me. But I ain't going to give you 7 hours. You'll be out of here.
All right.
And I'm not here to put on a show to show my linguistic gymnastics.
Oh,
I'm not going to do that.
you just did that.
And Sonia, behave yourself. Be humble over there. But we're not going to wow you with fancy words.
All right.
We want to speak to you clearly about the three things that Paul is speaking to this church.
Yeah.
He speaks three things in this text. If we read the text again, he says, do all things without grumbling or disputing, that you may be blameless and innocent, children of God, without a blemish in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world.
Hallelujah.
So he describes three things. First of all, he tells you what your identity is. That's one of our problems.
All right.
Is that we don't know who we are.
Know who we are.
Not only that, do we not know who we are, we forget who we are.
Now.
That's why we have so many problems. That's why we sit here and stew in all our transgressions and all our sicknesses and all our problems, because we will forget that we are subject to that name above all names. That we have the name that he gives us. So we have an identity. And identity is important.
Yes.
Because an identity will tell you who you are. Everybody tries to be identified with something or someone.
Amen.
I used to be a probation officer and then ran a division in probation. And I was talking to one man one time. He had got promoted to the division level. And he says, Cleve, I got promoted. What should I do? I said, don't let the position define you. You define the position.
Amen.
What I was telling him, don't make the position his identity. We want identity to have social acclaim. We want identity for somebody to say something good about us. We all want to be attached to something. He would introduce himself, I am probation manager so-and-so. I would introduce myself that I am Cleveland Prince, who was employed as a probation manager. It wasn't who I was because I had a life outside of that. I had an identity outside of that because that identity was temporary. Think I can get fired, I can get laid off, whatever the case may be. That was a temporary identification. But you have a permanent identification. Your identification carries you not only here, but beyond here. You have an identity. He says he calls you children of God. That means you belong to. The Spencer name means you come from the Spencer family.
That's right.
The Patton name means you come from the Patton family. Your family name identifies where you come from. But we have a name even above that because we are called children of God. Our identity is that we're children of God. So we need to be clear on what our identity is. The identity is a difference or character that marks off an individual from the rest of the same kind. With the same kind is that we're all people. But everybody don't have his identity. Everybody has not embraced Christ. They have not been adopted into his family. They have been accepted into his family. They have not accepted the call and been chosen, so they're still out there. But you have an identity beyond that because you have been chosen. Being chosen is a great thing because that means that somebody thought you were special enough to carry their name. I've sometimes talked to kids who have been adopted who are upset because they're wondering why their birth parents didn't accept them. But somebody thought that you were worth something. And they went to the place and they pointed to you and said, I want this one. It wasn't an accident of birth. It wasn't a natural selection. It was a purposeful choice. Well, God made a purposeful choice when he chose you.
Hallelujah.
We don't need to worry about our biological name or who accepts us and who doesn't accept us because you have been chosen by God. Peter says it this way. You are a chosen generation. You are a royal priesthood. You've been accepted into a high calling.
My Lord.
So your identity is what Paul is reminding the people as they're going through what it is they're going through. You have an identity that separates you from everybody else. And if Jesus has a name that has been exalted above all names, and your identity is attached to him, guess where you are? You have an identity above every other name.
All right.
You don't have to worry about the Trump name. You don't have to worry about the Putin name.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about all these other names that they're tossing out there, even Obama or the Clinton name. Because you have a name beyond all that. They may be good guys, but they don't have that name.
All right.
So your identity is critically important.
Yeah.
You are the children of God. You notice Paul says that is right there in the text. He says that you may be blameless and innocent, children of God. Now, he talks about what you should be as a child of God. You should live your life above criticism. That doesn't mean people can't criticize you, but it means that there should be no validity to that criticism. They can say all kinds of things about you, but it don't have to be true. So when they criticize, somebody else will say, no, that ain't true, I know him. They may run your name down, no, that ain't true, I know him. You ought to be blameless and holy because of who you are. You are upholding the reputation of the great God who has chosen you. So you ought to be above reproach, above criticism, because of what you do and how you live, that you live up to the name that you've been chosen to bear. So he says that you should be blameless and innocent. It's important to recognize that because today so many people are claiming this name.
All right.
I want to say that again. So many people are claiming this name.
Yes.
They call themselves children of God. They even take the name Christian.
Yes.
Every time you turn around, a Christian nation, a Christian this, a Christian that, but there's nothing that exemplifies them as that person.
Right, right.
You have Catholic priests molesting children for years in the name of Christianity, under the name of Christianity, not in the name of, but under the name, claiming that name. You have preachers that are in the pulpit wanting to get all that you have so they can get a new plane under the name of Christianity. We have all these things that are happening, but true children of God
Come on.
live a life that is pleasing to Christ. You exemplify the name of God.
Yes, yes.
I'm amazed that so many people want to follow all these big time preachers.
Yeah.
Okay, they want to follow them. But those that followed Jesus were poor.
Yes.
They were destitute.
Yes.
I have not read in my Bible anywhere that the apostles were ever rich. Matter of fact, Paul is writing from prison. So how can that exemplify who God is and your status as a child of God if you need an airplane, a Bentley, a Maybach in order to get around?
Come on now, make it plain.
You want to help, you want somebody to make you live high. You want to be high and lifted up. Too many people want to get in the pulpit because it's elevated above somebody. They don't recognize that I have to be the same as Christ. I got to have the same mind as Christ. I still have to have a humble mind. I still have to have an obedient mind. And I still have to live a life of sacrifice. It is important that we know what we are in identity and what goes along with that identity. So he says that you may be blameless and innocent, children of God without blemish, innocent as far as evil is concerned, morally clean, not living a haphazard life. One preacher told somebody and says, well, it's okay that you cheat on your wife. God didn't mean for you to only have one woman. My Bible doesn't say that. I was in the barbershop, and I go to the barbershop, and a lot of times I go because I enjoy the camaraderie, and we build relationships with people. You go to the same reason when you go to your beauty shop. You know the person's doing your hair. And you go to them because there's a relationship also involved. You want to touch base with them. It's a place that you go, and every Friday, I'm giving Norman $20. That's $80 a month. If I start counting the money, I may only go twice a month. But I have a relationship with him that's more than money. It's a relationship that is built on that he can come to me, he can see me, I can minister to him if so be it, and he can talk with me. But also he's my friend, and I want to let him know that he's my friend. And sometimes we're not talking about anything heavy, but we're just friends.
Amen.
Well, anyway, the barbershop is a place where a lot of conversation goes on. I'm sure the beauty shop happens the same way.
Well.
A lot of times there's gossip there.
Well.
But in this instance, there was a man there, and he was getting his hair cut. And he was saying how he didn't think Trump had done anything bad by how he had treated women. And there's nothing wrong with having all that women, those women. I asked him later on in the comment, this one of the few times I actually engaged somebody in discussion in the barbershop because I was appalled at what he was saying. I could not let that go. First he said that we're all hypocrites because we're down on Trump and how he treats women. So I had a problem with that because you're saying all of us in the United States when you talk about me. Well, I got a problem with that because I'm real about what I do. And I have one wife, and that's all I need.
All right.
I don't need nobody on the side. I have one wife.
All right.
And I promised God and her that she would be the only one.
And her daddy.
And I mean that. So don't try to come in front of me flirting and nothing else. You ain't going to get nothing. Ain't nothing happening here. I have one wife.
Yeah.
Well, he said those things and we challenged him. But he actually said that he goes to a church. I'm not going to mention the name of the church. But I threatened to call his pastor and say, what you teaching over there?
Right.
Because he's espousing, he says I go to church and I worship God, I'm a Christian, but he's in the barbershop saying little things. And is he living a blameless and a life in front of everybody? No. Why would anybody want to come to service if I can do anything I want to do? If I can still live a club life, why do I just stay at the club? I want to come to church.
Right.
There has to be a difference in you that will attract other people. He called you the children of God, that you must be blameless and without blemish. And he says now, the second point is that where you're located. He said you live in the midst of a crooked and a perverse world, a generation. So not only that are you have your identity, but you are now have a location where you are. Faith, you may question why you're here. Because you're living in the midst of a crooked and a perverse generation.
That's right.
You may wonder why you live in the city you live in, or why you live in the house you live in. Because you're living in the midst of a crooked and a perverse generation. God has placed you where you are.
Right.
Because he has a purpose for your life. We'll talk about the purpose in a minute. But our location is where we are, where we live, the position you're in. Your location is also your job, your school, the community center you go to. Whatever you do in your life, wherever you go in your life, that's the location God has placed that child of God to be in.
All right.
So not only do you have an identity, you have a location. You may wonder why you still exist in this position. And I've had senior saints tell me, I don't know why the Lord still has me here. Well, because he has placed you in the midst of a perverse, a distorted generation. Amen. He has placed you in a place where people have warped ideas. He placed you in a place where there is darkness. And your purpose is, that's our third point, is that you're called to be light. He placed you there because if there's darkness, people need light.
That's right.
If there's darkness, people need to know where to go.
Amen.
Sometimes we see stories of people that are trapped in caves. And if you're trapped in a cave, it's a very dark place. And they look, and when some light comes through, they get happy because something help is on the way. Because they see some light. Somebody's digging through, and all of a sudden light there is only a little peephole of light. But that light brings hope to those people that are trapped. You are the light for those people who are trapped in a dark place. So not only do you know your identity and your location, your purpose, the reason why you exist, the reason for which something is done or created, the reason, the intent that you are called and placed where you are is to shine as lights.
Right.
Faith, you have to shine.
You got to shine.
Don't sit in the darkness. Jesus says, don't sit on the hill and cover yourself up. We cover our light up by living substandard life. We cover our light up by complaining all the time. He said, let your light shine. You're called to be lights because this generation needs help. It's amazing to me when you look at the scripture. Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God, you guys are doing Genesis.
Yes, we are.
I heard this morning, I said, I ought to let Kyle want to continue to preach my sermon. But he don't have his voice. He said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form or void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. The Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. The first time we hear God ever say something is, and God said. And what did he say? Let there be light. Isn't it amazing that the first thing that God said in the whole creation of the world was that light was needed? Why was light needed? He told you because the world was in darkness. It was empty, it was voided, it was in darkness. And he said light needed to happen. And he spoke light into existence, and that's why you are to be called lights.
All right.
Not only did he do that,
thank you, Lord.
On the fourth day, he made lights. He made the sun, moon, he says, and he put them in the expanse, he put them in the heaven. And the purpose of the light, if you read Genesis 1:14 to 15 and 17. He says very clearly, and God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from night. Light separates from darkness. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Right.
And let them be lights, in the expanse of the heavens. What? To do what? To give light upon the earth. The whole purpose of light was to shine on the earth. Because God is not a God of darkness.
Right.
He's not a God that revels in darkness. He wants you to be light. He wants to shine light. He wants to attract somebody. Don't you know light is attractive?
Yeah.
When you're in a dark place, you can't wait to turn on the light.
That's right.
Sometimes at night, if you get up early or late at night, you got to go to the restroom, and the first thing you want to look, you're looking for light. When you turn the light on, you know exactly what you need to do and where you need to go. It's hard to look in the mirror in the dark.
Yeah.
You need light to look in the mirror to fix your clothes.
Yeah.
If you get up early like I do at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm not trying to wake Stephanie up, even though she says I do. She be already woke. I'll be seeing her eye go like this. I don't turn on the light because she's sleeping.
Yeah.
But I need some light, so I have to go in the restroom, close the door, then turn on the light.
Yeah.
Because I need to see what I'm doing.
Amen.
Otherwise, my mustache is going to be half crooked. I have one side shaved off and one side there, and then everybody be laughing at me. They say, what's wrong? Did you get dressed in the dark? Have anybody told you that? Did you get dressed in the dark? You need light to get dressed appropriately, to look right when you go somewhere. Every one of you turned the light on to get dressed this morning when you came to service.
Amen.
So he said he made the light so it would shine in the earth, and then God saw that it was good.
Amen.
From a spiritual perspective, he's telling you that you shine as lights where? On the earth.
Yeah.
Your neighborhood, where you're located, is on the earth.
Come on.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Brother Scott, wherever you are to be light in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you go to the OG picnic, be a light.
Yeah.
If you go to the Amo picnic, be a light. If you go to the grocery store, be a light. Wherever you go, he's calling you to be a light because there's darkness that's encompassing this world.
Yeah.
If you don't believe darkness is encompassing the world, just look at what happened. Every 4 years, they say you need a new president because you need change. Every 2 years, you need another House of Representative, a congressman, and every 6 years, you need a senator.
All right.
Why? And every one of them says that I can change the condition and the direction of where you are. And every one of them has failed from George Washington until now.
Come on. Yeah.
You know why? Because they live in darkness.
All right.
They can't give you light when they're not light. You can't share light if you're not light. If you don't have a light, you can't turn the light on. If you don't know where the source of your light comes from, you cannot get light. Our light source is God himself.
Hallelujah.
1 John says God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. So my light comes from him. We ought to reflect the light of the Savior. Faith, you ought to reflect the light of the Savior because he called you to be light. So from a spiritual perspective, we are saved to do the same. As children of God, we have an identity, we are set in a location, and we are purposed to shine as lights in a crooked world. God is straight. If you're not walking with him, you're walking a crooked path. God is clear. If you're not walking with him, you're walking a distorted path.
That's right.
Have you ever gone to the fun house? They used to have fun houses. I think they still have them on Fisherman Wharf. They don't have a circus like we used to. You go to the fun house and you see yourself tall, you see yourself short. Most of the time, like Frank just did it, we see ourselves fat. My mirror is a fun house mirror all the time. Because it always shows me as being fat. But it distorts the view of who you are. It warps what you look like. Sin gives you a distorted view of who you are. Sin has warped your character, how you appear. Sin is the reason why we get old. Sin is the reason why we get sick. It distorts everything that God has done. Sin distorts it. He says we're living in that kind of world. The reason why you have a president the way he is because he's distorted. He looks in the mirror. He doesn't see what you see. He sees himself as a benevolent person. Maybe a benevolent dictator. He doesn't see why because sin has warped his vision. He's walking in darkness. And he's not by himself. Even those that criticize him are walking in darkness. But God has called you to be light. From a spiritual perspective, we are saved, chosen, called to be light. Because somebody is in darkness. Matthew 4, he says, those that were in darkness saw a great light. When they saw the light, they embraced the light. Don't you know when you see light, you start walking towards the light?
Amen.
You don't walk away from light unless you're evil. Unless you got something to hide. But hey, most of the people that want to live in the dark, they're doing dirt.
That's it.
They don't want no light because they're doing dirt. But when light comes, it shines on everything that's about you and it reveals certain things.
Yes.
Amen.
The word light has so many descriptions, meanings, and implications.
Well,
light makes things visible. Light brings awareness. Light brings understanding. Your mind become enlightened.
yes.
Light dispels or get rid of darkness.
All right.
Light comes from a source. You must have a source. And light can be reflected.
Yes.
We are all a bunch of little moons and stars because we reflect the sun
Hallelujah.
who shines through us and in us.
Hallelujah.
And in a dark place, have you ever been out in the country at night and it's dark and you look up and see the moon, it can light the way that you need to go? Right. We reflect God. Just as the moon reflects the sunlight, we reflect the sunlight of God in this world because it is dark. It is twisted, it is distorted, and it's perverse.
Yes.
We are lights because He is lights. As I work to my close, we reflect His light and we dispel darkness from the world.
Amen.
Let your light so shine. Let your light shine so they may see your good works and glorify the Father in heaven.
Yes.
Matthew 5, he says that. I don't have time to elucidate that right now. But I would tell you faith.
Okay.
And I would tell you whoever's here, shine on Christ-like man.
Yes. Yes.
Shine on
Yes.
Christ-like woman.
Yeah.
Shine on Christ-like boy.
Yes.
Shine on Christ-like girl. Shine on church. Shine on through adversity. Shine on through pain.
All right.
Shine on when you're happy.
Yes.
Shine on when you're sad.
Yes.
Shine on when people speak well of you.
Come on.
Shine on when people speak ill of
All
you.
right.
Yes.
Shine on when they love you.
Yes.
Shine on when they betray you.
Yeah.
Shine on when everything is going well.
Yeah.
Shine on when you have joy. Shine when you have sadness.
Yes.
Shine when you have mourning. Shine when you have happiness.
Yes.
Shine on.
Yes.
You're called to be lights.
Yes.
Reflect the Savior.
All right.
Be light in dark places.
All right.
Light the way to the world of salvation, deliverance, and healing.
Yeah.
Help the lost find their way to freedom. Shine on from darkness to light.
Yeah.
Shine on
Shine on.
from hate to love. Shine on from selfishness to service.
Come on.
Shine on, church.
Yeah.
Shine on, church. Shine on, church. Shine on in your home.
Yeah.
Shine on at your school.
Yeah.
Shine on that kitchen back there. Shine on in the neighborhood. Shine.
Yes.
He called you to shine. Shine on.
Yes.
This
Yes.
little light of mine,
Hallelujah.
I'm going to let it shine.
Yes, sir.
This
Yes.
little light of mine,
Yes, Lord.
I'm
Yes.
going to let it shine.
Yes,
I wish I could do it right here, but this
Yeah.
little light of mine,
Yes, Lord.
I'm going to let it shine.
Yes, Lord.
Let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine.
Yes, Lord.
Let it shine.
Yes.
Everywhere I go,
Yes.
I'm going to let it shine.
Yes.
Everywhere I go,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
going to let it shine.
Yes.
Everywhere I go,
Come on, Reverend.
I'm going to let it shine.
Yes, sir.
Let it shine.
Yes, sir.
Let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine.
Yes.
In my neighborhood,
Yes.
I'm going to let it shine.
Yes.
Faith Church, in this neighborhood, I'm going to let it shine.
Yes.
In
Yes.
this neighborhood, I'm going to let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine.
Yes.
Let it shine. Everywhere I go,
Yes.
I'm going to let it shine.
Come on, Reverend.
Yeah, right here, like a hoop right here. I was saying, I'm going to let it shine. Yes. Yes.
Come on, boy.
Yes.
Preach,
I
Reverend.
don't be feeling me, but yes.
Yes.
I'm going to let it shine.
Yes. Yes. Come on, Reverend.
Faith Church,
Yes.
Christ-like people, friends, family,
Yes, Lord.
shine on.
Yes.
Shine on.
Thank you, God.
Don't let circumstances, adversity, pain, and suffering
Yes.
diminish your life.
Yes.
Shine on.
Yes.
At this time,
Yes.
we want to invite you to Christ. As the deacons come forward, we are